Not in the business, you catching fever. You getting serious like anti-river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah, yeah. We coming, yeah. Where is gonna be coming? As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet up, speak. Where is gonna be coming? Yeah, you are coming, yeah. We coming.
My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravaged country and have survived two deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
God bless you and God bless Liberia. That's a good one, Alex. Alex Cummings. God bless you and God. Okay, guys, I'm not going to take too long yet today. I'm not going to stay that long. Sometimes I stay, but then I go overboard. But I will try my best not to go more than an hour. Listen, I want to talk to especially people from the CPP, the ANC, the LP, and whatsoever. We cannot allow things to slide by. We cannot allow CDC, George Weah, to lie and we don't speak. Because if we do that, they will continue to lie. The information, their plans are to tie Mr. Cummings up with the Ellen government. I just spoke with a friend not too long, and then I listened to hello Miata, hello to everyone, investment, everyone, please share the video. And I was speaking to the guy. He said, listen, my man, let me tell you the real truth. You got to work hard. I said, why? He said, because they play. Look, not everybody. That's why when I'm talking, I'm very careful. Not everybody in the CDC favor the nonsense that is going on. No, not everybody. Because these guys have nothing to say. They think that we will not attack them back. The first thing, the president lied. And let us clear the facts. There is nowhere on record that Ellen Johnson ever appointed Mr. Cummings to give him a letter. Mr. Cummings was only doing a pro bono job. When I say pro bono, you know what I'm talking about. It was a volunteer. He decided to help BWI and he spent his money. But he wanted to tie Mr. Cummings. He said that Mr. Cummings did not criticize Ellen. Yes, because Mr. Cummings was not in politics. He was working at the time. He said Mr. Cummings refused to talk about the bankruptcy. Yes, the bank when the bankrupt Noka, because Mr. Cummings was not into politics. You cannot be working at the same time into politics. Conflict of interest. It messed up his job. So, how can Mr. Cummings criticize Ellen? Mr. Cummings never ran against Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Mr. Cummings, George Weah, Mr. Boakai, Mr. Bromsky, everyone of them was in the same race. So don't fall for the nonsense and the lies and the made up stories that will sit back. I listened to Akara's Gray, lying on Spoon, and it is disheartening to see Spoon. They're not doing the job. You got Keith Hassan, who don't even know a damn thing about Liberia. We just open and lie publicly. We got to call them out. Akara's Gray was lying. Akara's Gray banned in the representative. Well, he banned by his second term. All the money. Now one day, they are the one who criticized Ellen. President Weah is nowhere on record to criticize Ellen as 12 years opposition. If you knew about all this corruption in government that you want to pin Mr. Cummings, that it was Mr. Cummings' government, that's a shame. You failed the people of Liberia, Mr. President. You failed the people. Now you embarrassed. And guess what? Get ready for the fight. Get ready. Get ready. I hope you will stay on the stage to debate this time around. Lying. Oh, where was Mr. Cummings when we were running around? The first thing, President Weah, when you were playing football, you never just left your comfort zone. You played for Lone Star and you were paid. You never left your comfort zone to come and play. You were not the only player on the national team. You had 16 players that dressed. You were not the only Liberians that were playing for Lone Star that left their comfort zone because it's a talent. It was a privilege for you to play for the national team. And when they called you, you come for assignment. Mr. Cummings was not playing football. He was working like any other person, like your wife, your children. They were all sitting. They were not in Liberia. They were not in Liberia. Your people that you appointed, they were not in Liberia. So if you were playing football and you left your comfort zone and Mr. Cummings was in America, oh, Mr. Weah, that is not politics. You just a crybaby. You are crying, and it is shameful that when Mr. Cummings criticizes you, that you don't know what you're doing, you have to come back and fight. But that's a good thing. But we will not sit and allow you to lie this time around. This election is between you and Alex Cummings. So we would give all your records to tell the Liberian people that you will not lie to them. You're not a hero. You're not a patriot. If you were a patriot, you were never going to build all the houses you build today from the country's money. If you were a patriot, you would not allow Liberians to steal, your government officials to steal until the government of Liberia and America put sanction on you. You are not a patriot. You pretend to be. You don't love the country, Mr. President. You don't love the country. You don't need to lie. You were opposition for 12 years. There was your responsibility to call Madam Edison out. Just how Mr. Cummings do not criticize you, he tell you the truth. He don't just criticize you. He tells you your fault. And if you want to get on record, Mr. Cummings is the only candidate that ever even gave you a little grace. He's the only one. So your 2015, your 2005 up to 2015, Mr. Cummings was not a politician and he had no right going to criticize. He never told people say, oh, I'm going to Liberia to run and then come back. He did what was right. He never just criticized. So there was no way Mr. Cummings was never on payroll, and I challenge anybody to show it. For people to sit on spoon and don't know what to say, talking about Mr. Weah gave or good shot, that's a lie. That's a blinking lie. President Weah only exposed his weaknesses. President Weah only showed the Liberian people that he don't know, because as an opposition 12 years now you are in charge, and then you telling your opposition why you criticize the past government. That's a shame. That's a recipe to failure. Nobody can back it. I would not back that. Maybe that letter can go to UP. That letter can go to somebody else from UP that might want to run against you. Not to say, where were you? The refugees you talking about during the war, Mr. Cummings took care of his family. You took care of your family. Other people took care of the family. You don't help anybody. You never went in refugee camp. You never knew what Mr. Cummings was doing. Mr. Cummings don't know what you were doing. The only difference is that you were playing soccer. It was a talent. You were not the most talented Liberian, but it's a privilege to play on the national team. They had other players that was better than you, but you were not the only player. So you should be thankful. So if you want to go back and think that Liberians will be in sympathy with you, no, then you get it wrong. Bouchard left his comfort zone. Anthony Togba, Joe Nangbe, every one of them, James Diba, left their comfort zone to go to Liberia to wear that jersey. You were not the only player. And you got paid for everything you did for Liberia. Even when Ellie appointed you as peace ambassador, you were paid. You worked to the will and pleasure until you resigned, and then you went as a senator. When you were senator, you signed bogus agreement when Ellen gave it to you. And now you in charge. You fix it? No. You audit the government? No. Then you want to blame your opposition? That's a shame. That's a shame, Mr. President. That's a shame. And anybody who want to back that, no, there is nowhere on record. I challenge anyone to show me one tip apart from CDC disturbing and they put Joshua picture in the newspaper. One tip where President Weah criticizing Ellen Johnson. Nobody can show a tip on that, because you know what? I follow President Weah. He never one day, he even gave President Sirleaf 80%. He gave President El Sirleaf 80%. That means she was good. She was perfect. Now, because you got nothing to say against Cummings, you think we will sit there and you tie Alex Cummings to the government, to the past government. That's a shame. That's a shame. You work for Ellen. You were on payroll. You were on payroll when you were not even a senator. You were on payroll. Ellen Johnson gave you money. She put you in plane. She brought you to the state. You attended the United Nations. She brought you closer just to close your mouth, and you never argue. You never complain one day. So if an opposition if a ruling party or ruling or government telling the opposition why you criticize the past government, why you audit the past government, why you refuse to audit the past government, because the money you use for campaign came from the government, and today you are still using it. Your people came in, you abandoned other seditions who were under the ring and whatsoever, like men like Akara Gray, who was looking like a skeleton. Today can stand and won't use his stupid words and think Liberian people are stupid. Liberian people are stupid. I hope you can stand in front of Alex Cummings and have that debate with the Liberian people. But we will tell the Liberian people, we're not going to fall for it. You failed the people. You only telling us, you open a Pandora box to tell us that you knew about the corruption. So you actually knew about you had a record with you that when Noka went bankrupt, the report that came on your desk, you took action? No. All the corruption that went on, all the bogus thing that went on, you took action? No. All the roads that was going on, it was in progress, Mr. President. Don't lie to the Liberian people. Don't lie to you never broke ground for any. The one that you try to break ground from, we know. The roads that in Ganta going to Maryland, you never did it. It was in progress when you came in. So you're not going to fool anybody. You're not going to fool the Liberian people. First fool are fool, second fool are fool. Mr. President, whether we like you or not, you serve as the 25th president. But there is nothing you will say that going to change. It is a shame. In your government today, you have Eugene Nangwe, who served early as Minister of Transport, Minister of Telecommunication, Minister of Information. You got Samuel Twelve. He was a consultant. You got Nathaniel Magay. You got Mary Bro. You got the same people who stole from the government working with you. Then you're talking about where was your voice? Where was your voice? Where was your voice when Samuel Doe were killing Liberian people that was speaking? Where was your voice because you were dining with him? Where was your voice when Samuel Doe were going after the people from Nima County? Where was your voice? You were playing football. You never criticized President Doe. You only criticized Charles Taylor when he attacked President Doe. You never even criticized Charles Taylor. You just went and mumble, that was it. You ever went in a refugee camp? I challenge anybody to show me one picture. Kalasco, you closer to Joshua, show us one picture, because everywhere Joshua went, there was a photographer behind him. Show us one presence of President Weah encouraging refugees. You guys lie. Seditionists have loved, they love to lie so much. I dare you guys to prove it. If you prove me wrong and show one picture with George Weah in Danale, in a refugee camp, in Nigeria, the refugee camp, in Ghana, the refugee camp, I will never ever put my face on Facebook. I challenge anybody. Show me a picture of President Weah. You love Liberia. You ever attended any of the peace talk? No. You were making money. You were enjoying. You were enjoying yourself. You never went through the war, Mr. President. We went through the war. We ate cocodolo. We felt it. While the war was on, they took your people out of Liberia. You know that. They took your people out of Liberia, including everybody who were working with you. They had a clean path, while some of us were still struggling to get out. We're still struggling. How will you write a letter? You never read the letter. It is a shame, Mr. President. They set you up. They set you up. They set you up, Mr. President. So they never say, you never you say, where was your voice? How can you say, where was Mr. Cummings' voice? You think Cummings was one of the Liberians who would leave his job, try the politics, and go back? No. When Ellis Cummings was working with Cook, he took through his intervention. Cook went to Liberia and gave $1 million and gave drugs to the Buchanan Hospital through Mr. Cummings, because he was working with them, helping, see how best to help. So he don't have to get into politics. He need not to criticize. How long it took Mr. Cummings to criticize you, Mr. President? Because your own went above. You went beyond. You crossed the line. While Liberians are dying, you dancing buka. While Liberians are going through hard time and they're struggling, you making music. You only satisfying yourself. At least somebody make you to speak to Liberian people. So get ready. I don't know which one you're going to write again. I don't know which one you're going to say. Where was your voice? That would not work, Mr. President. You will not intimidate people talking about you were deaf during the war. No, Mr. President, that's a lie. That's a lie. When the war was on, you never one day brought one bag of rice. You never had a party for children when you used to come down during the Amos Sawyer time. You never one day went places and said, this is what. Show us what you did when you were playing football in Liberia. Show us the mark. Show us what you did, Mr. President. Liberian people love you because you play football, because you used to come around. But at the same time, you bullied them and you disrespected them. That's all. You were paid for everything. As peace ambassador, you were paid. You admitted, you even told foreign journalists that I was paid As peace ambassador, I'm paid. Yes, that's true. Nobody says you do it free. So what you say, where were you? What you mean, where were you? Your wife today, the first lady who receiving $1,000 and $1.5 million, she was in Liberia? No, she was not there. Other people who stay in Liberia could not travel. That's the will of God. We were in Liberia too. We couldn't travel. We traveled after the war finished and everything before we left Liberia too now. So if Alex Cummings was out of Liberia and you asking during the war, where were you? That's a shame. You failed, Mr. President. You failed the people of Liberia. That is why you can't speak. That is why you cannot even argue. And you're talking about where was Alex Cummings? Where were you for 12 years when you were the number one and the biggest opposition in Liberia to challenge Ellen? Now you are in charge. You want us to criticize Ellen and leave you, Mr. President? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. There is no way we can criticize Ellen. We ran against you and we're running against you. We will criticize you. And we criticize you constructively too. You should be happy. You should be happy, Mr. President. We're not just criticizing because we want to. Mr. Cummings, don't just get angry, but he gave you only 3 pointers. He just told you how your people is corrupt and they stole the country money and they put censure on them. The white man got to come in your bedroom to tell you that your people near you, they are criminals. And he told you, do not allow these people to. Now he advised, he said, veto. He said, you cannot, if you want to be transparent, you will not allow them to tell the magistrate at this time to resign. Why you never did it when you took over? Why they all should resign now? You appointed Senate, the Senate only so dummy. It's so fast, or Chief Justice. They took 2 days to go through confirmation. 2 days. It is a shame. Liberia is a die. Liberia is a place that sometimes you ask if I should be, but you will not discourage us to run away. You will not keep us. We will retire in Liberia. We will retire. We will retire. So where were you? Since you asking Cummings, Cummings was not an opposition at the time. He was not in politics. Cummings came into politics 18 months to the election, and Mr. Cummings criticized the UP government. He's on record during the campaign. He criticized the UP government until he refused to even endorse Mr. Bouaka publicly. He criticized them. But you were in bed with Ellen Johnson. You got all Ellen Johnson people. Eugene Nambwe, you got him. Got Samuel Twe, you got him. The Minister of what the place is there, Internal Affairs. You got Mary Broad. You got all these people under your protection. Then what do you want to say? You refuse to audit the government. You knew about the corruption, Mr. President. Why? Why you refuse to audit the government? Why you refuse to go after them? Since you knew all this thing, you listed everything in your letter. Oh, now that Alex Cummings is supposed to go. Alex Cummings is not the president. So let me tell you today, Mr. President, if Alex Cummings take over from you, he will audit you. If Alex Cummings take over from you, he will audit you. He will audit you, whether you like it or not. So all that thing you're talking, you don't read that letter, Mr. President. You never read it. Samuel Twe or Eugene Nambwe or somebody just put it together and they put your knee and they fire up. Oh yes. Surprise of the for the reaction. Oh yes, was surprised. It's a good letter. To me, it's not a good letter. It's a strong letter, but it's not for ANC. It's not for CPP. It's not for Mr. Cummings. It's for somebody that's some of the talking points. That's some of the things that they have. And guess what? Everything they're supposed to tell UP, their plans now is to attach, to hold Mr. Cummings with Ellen government. You listen to Akara Gray, he's so dumb. They went to LU for nothing. He said Ellen Johnson brought Mr. Cummings in the country to take over from her. Look at that fool. Look how shameful or representative. Ellen Johnson brought Mr. Cummings in the country, or Liberian who has the right to come in, or Liberian who worked for almost 40 years. did everything. You, Akaras Gray, the money you got today, you stole it from government. You ate Ebola money. The 30,000, check it, times how many times? How many years? Every penny you got today is not your salary. You ate the people money. And you, of all persons, want to stay and talk to Connor, to Ellis Cummings, Ellen Johnson brought it will not work. We will tell the Liberian people, you people are liars. We will tell the Liberian people they shouldn't fall for it. Some will fall for it, but not all will fall for it. The good ones, now there are a lot of good people in Liberia, even in the CDC government. And let me tell you guys, seditions, you can go up and come down. You think that President Weah will make the difference. You will regret it. You will be the same one crying. You will be the same one. While we're fighting to unite, President Weah was ambassador, peace ambassador. Under his administration, we are more divided than anything. Brothers going against brothers, sister against sister because of politics. And that is how they want to keep us. President Weah refused to speak on corruption. President Weah refused to speak on the 4 auditors that died. They were sedition. President Weah refused to speak on the economy. President Weah refused to tell Liberian people how to create jobs. But Mr. Cummings gave him 3, just 3. He crazy. He brought all the Ellen Johnson thing up. Your thing will fall for it? No. Only spoon can fall for it. Only some of the people on spoon will fall for it. Because sometimes I ask myself the question, are these guys do the due diligence? Do they research to find out? Or it's also they say? All the radio station in Liberia is they say. They say. They say. We all taking side. We all have taken side. So we will support our side. But we speak the truth and the lies will always fail. President Weah, there is nothing left in you to change Liberia. There is nothing left in you to change Liberia. You talk about freedom of the speech, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, where they pretend that if they sign all these things into law, thank God for camera, thank God for Facebook. You people still go after people. You people still chase. Flan, Joseph Flan. Joseph Flan now is assigned to the acting minister of state, going around threatening people, threatening the women from ANC. He met the Monserrato chair and threatened that lady. He went in the yard there. I will go after every one of you. I know where you're living. Joseph Flan. I will find the picture and put it up. All these guys are a bunch of criminals. Right now, they have nothing. All they're doing, how to intimidate you that you might not vote, to scare you that you cannot vote. But remember, you got blood, they got blood. Everything in you is in them. Then not one woman can born crazy child. You must stand for your right. You can change it. You can change it. Zogos, they advantage youth. They were on the other day, yesterday, how they disappointed. How in the world, 5 years, our government cannot relocate or rehabilitate these children? 5 years. If Ellen don't do it, you are supposed to do it. But if you don't do it, Alex Cummings will do it. If you don't do it, Alex Cummings will do it. Everything you promised the Liberian people, you fail. You said they will not be a spectator in their own country. But all the contracts, you give it to foreigners. The only Liberians, when you lock it to work with the people or you got contact, then you work. But every contract in that country is given to foreigners because you got your cut. Then you asking, where was Alex Cummings when your government continued with the corruption and more corrupt than ever in our history? Alex Cummings asked you or told you to build your houses. Alex Cummings stop you from firing your people that you appointed. Alex Cummings told you to appoint incompetent people. No. Where was Alex Cummings? Where was Alex Cummings when the war was on? Where was Alex Cummings when Nuka went bankrupt? He was not a politician at that time. So he don't have to get into politics to speak out. But now he's a politician. He's running against you, Mr. President. He ran against you 2017. So you were the number one opposition for 12 years. When was the last time that you took the podium to give a speech? When was the last time you stood up and speak to the Liberian people when you was an opposition to criticize Ellen? You signed a bogus contract. You receive your envelopes. You receive a cash. You know that, Mr. President. You know about all that Liberian people. So the president lied to us. The president knew all these things. So why the president refused to audit? Let us ask this question. And that the question we need to ask, why President Weah refused to audit the UP government? Because his hands were in the cookie jar. They gave the president at the time, George Manneh Weah, $500,000. The first $500,000 for sports. Eugene Namo knew about it. But then Eugene Namo was working with Ellen. And that was a setup. And Eugene Namo was one of those who said it. It was a setup for him too. Because President Weah never gave any report on that money. No report on that money. So he can't audit. The money that was used for campaign came from the NSA to him. So he cannot audit. So Liberian people, if you think that Weah government is okay, it is your choice to keep them. It is your choice. Democracy is a dirty thing. It sometimes goes to where you don't want it. Some people, you crying today in Liberia, you say, oh, the president didn't do this, they didn't do that. When they come to you, they give you $5 and beg arrest, you ready to go vote. Then that $5, that 5 years. Then you suffer for another 5 years. When 6 years coming, they will come back to you. By the time we come back to Liberia, you look like an old woman or man. Why? Your destiny is in your hands. That letter President Weah wrote, he made a mistake. He made a mistake. He didn't read it. That some of the playbook, they're talking points for UP. So their plans now is to tie Mr. Cummings with Ellen and the UP to say, Mr. Cummings, work. Show us, you the president, show us one pay stub. You receive thousands of dollars, Mr. President, from Ellen Johnson. Ellen Johnson kept you on a monthly salary, according to them, and you yourself, just so you will not say anything to her. And you actually prove it. You graded Ellen, you said 80%. 10. 8 out of 10. They asked you, and you praise her, you say her government was correct. So why you want us to criticize her? You think we prepare to give the blame to people? Mr. President, when we take over from you, we will not continue blaming you. We will fix it. We will fix it. That is why Mr. Cummings don't just criticize you because he want to. Everything Mr. Cummings told you was truth. Everything you put in your letter were lies. Mr. Cummings don't work with Ellen Johnson. That was not his government. That's a shame, Mr. President. So if you think you sent a hard punch, the punch was not hard. The only thing in that whole letter that we were surprised that you were surprised that you guys responded, because we were waiting and said, but why you won't talk? So that's all. That was the only thing surprised, that you responded, finish. But it didn't do nothing, because the only way that letter will work, unless we don't explain to the Liberian people. Why would you want to lie and tell the Liberian people that Ellis Cummings worked for Ellen Johnson? Helping with a school, BWI, gave them 350 kVA, cost over 60 some more $1,000. You ever gave a Tiger generator to any organization before or school? No. When Mr. Cummings was negotiating to build the best school today in Liberia, the UNISTEM school, have you ever tried one day to talk to AC Milan, Monaco to build a practicing pitch for you? No. But Alex was able to talk to Coca-Cola, Chevron, and they built a school. The UNISTEM school in Liberia. Have you ever took $25,000 and gave it to the University of Liberia for scholarship fund? No. You go to the University of Liberia today, you will find the Alex Cummings lab. You go to the Nima Community College, you go to hospitals, you go to Maryland, you go to UMU, you will see Mr. Cummings print. You will see Cummings print all over the place. He don't go around lying and bragging. He don't come and tell people, say, I gave this person scholarship, because he respect them. We are the one that's seen it, because politics is not religion. We must speak it out. We must. So today, I will tell you guys what I like about seditions. They speak like they don't have head. Oh, Mr. We will be re-elected. 2017, sedition could not give President Weah 50%. 2017, 3 parties could not give President Weah 50%. After he now shit on himself, they will not even reach the same 30%. So the people who voted against President Weah, plus those who joined him, will not vote for him. You don't know that? All the sedition can join together. President Weah can win. Maybe you don't know statistics. Maybe you don't know the record. Maybe you don't know. The people that make you to win, you abandoned them, you disappointed them, they left. And some of the good sedition left. The ones that left there, the 25%, that the one who don't think for themselves. That the one who say, hey, I just love George Weah. I just love George Weah. So this coming election, you can campaign and carry 10 buses, 20 buses, 15 buses. It won't make nothing. The same thing Donald Trump did, we whip your ass here. So you can do all that thing. It will not scare us. Unless we campaign. We know the trick. Seditions, filing George Weah. That's it. CDC got members. If you go somewhere to speak and you get 2,000-3,000 people standing on a whole plate joke. So CDC got members. The members, they're not more than 25%. You understand? So if you're waiting for them to win, you're not going to win, because everybody eyeball open. They're not going to join you in the second round. So that is why you're trying to change all the magistrate. You told your sedition that work with CDC. You succeeded on the anti-corruption something. You succeeded on it. You putting your corrupt people into places that they will change the election around. But you, Mr. President, you get it wrong. We're not sleeping ourselves. We are not sleeping. We will do everything. We're not going to challenge you. You got a country money. But one thing we know, every penny that you're eating, when we auditing you, you will pay for it. Every illegal penny that you're eating, you will pay for it. Political job is not a lifetime job. Although some wicked people don't think about death, they can say, I will die anytime too. So we know that. So you'll continue the corruptness, you'll continue lying, but we will not accept it. We will not take it from you. We will rebut it, and we'll tell you, you will never connect Mr. Cummings with Ellen Johnson. Prove it, you the government. It's a shame. How can a certain government complain about another opposition not criticizing the past? Kev Asa, the dumbest human being on Spoon, the one who I don't know if he pretending, but he's a dumb. He's a real fool on Spoon. He look one way, he speak out of emotion, he don't even know. That's why he don't go nowhere, because he's so dumb. I know that stupidity, he purchased it, or it just in his brain, or maybe something wrong with him. Something wrong with him, that you sit down and just lie. It was the same Akara's Gray I would never go on Spoon and blah blah blah. Spoon now is open. Spoon now gone back to the CDC star. They're pretending like, oh, we know, no, we know. You should be bold enough. Spoon is not a journalistic place. The radio station in Liberia, they all finish taking side. They call them journalists. They all now take side. So Jihad they take side. We other. So they are not journalists. They are not journalists. Journalists, the group of people they call the fourth estate. Journalists are not friends with government. They are not friends with opposition either. They are friends with the Liberian people, with the citizen. Their responsibility is to discover crimes, to discover the wrongdoing. They're not here to sing praises. Journalists. That's what makes them powerful. But when you want to run Spoon Talk, is just the difference between Spoon Talk and myself is that they got big platform. If they won't pay for anything, they can pay for it. I don't have it. So I deal with my smaller group of people, but at least I can talk. Spoon using the same stream, yeah, I using the same stream, yeah. Spoon using computer, I using computer. So they got 3 radio stations, but tomorrow I will get radio station one day too. Or maybe I might not get radio station. So the difference is that they are not. They are just there asking any question that they want to ask. They don't think. They don't even speak for the Liberian people. They all got their side. So there is nobody on that show an analyst. I just look. Sometimes you think because Dr. Frances, she's for ANC and whatsoever, she tried to be objective. She tried her best to be, but everybody on that show got on. Moriah support Mr. Cummings. Peabody or whosoever, I don't know who they support, but everybody take a side. So they are not analysts. They do it according to, they try their best. Don't get me wrong. But Keith is the worst one. Keith is just the worst one. It's the worst. But I heard the CEO talking about, oh yeah, Mr. Cummings criticized Ellen. That's a lie. Nowhere on record, show me, nobody can show me a video where the president criticized Ellen Johnson. Nowhere. Akara great criticizing Ellen Johnson and Mr. Weir. So he so pushed there, but he was on payroll. He was on payroll. So it is a shameful letter that the president will ask an opposition or man who want to take his job. Where were you when Ellen Johnson signed the bogus agreement? Mr. President, where were you? Where were you? You were part of it. You worked for Ellen. You worked to the Ellen appointed you. After Lima Bowen resigned, Ellen appointed you as peace ambassador to take care of that group. It came with a $5 million budget. You only use 500,000 to bring football in the country. Where were you? You gave your report? No. Where were you when Samuel Doe were killing the people since you saw a patriot? Where were you to use your voice and tell President Doe, say, Mr. President, you bring in war? Where were you? You were nowhere. You were mad because they went after Doe. You were pissed off because the rebel attacked Doe. Where were you, Mr. Weir? For you to ask Ellis Cummings, where were you? You were in Liberia enjoying the benefit of Liberia, enjoying it from Mr. Doe. Why other people could not come to Liberia because Doe were after them? Where were you? Don't lie to the Liberian people. Mr. President, tell us what you were doing at the time. To speak out, to tell President Doe, say, Mr. President, it is time you resign to protect the Liberian people. When the war was on, you ever told President Doe to resign? No. You said nothing. Where were you when President Doe were killing all the Liberians who were against him? Where were you? When the Nima people were killed, where were you, Mr. Weir? You was a big time soccer player at the time. Your voice mattered. You could have spoken. But no, you were in favor of President Doe. That's why you got vexed with Charles Taylor, because they went after Doe. Where were you? Every trip you make to Liberia, you were paid until all the corrupt people started giving you the authority to bring players. So you selected your own players. You had a Joshua 11. So you had to pay their way and they pay you back. Where were you? Now you president. You are in control. Where were you when the 4 auditors were killed? Where were you when Odell Shemo? Where were you when the people in Nimba County left in our mind? Where were you? Eh? You are president of Liberia for the last 5 years. You have not spoken. Never one day stood in front of the Liberian people to encourage them. All we get is lies, dancing, making fun out of Liberian people. So, Mr. President, you send the wrong letter. You send the wrong letter. The only people that will look at the letter are the ones who got mud in the head. The only people that will listen to the letter and think that you did something good, no. Because Mr. Cummings was not in government. Mr. Cummings was not even in politics. There is no way Mr. Cummings can work with Coca-Cola as an executive and be in politics at the same time. Nowhere it ever happened. So, Liberian people, Mr. Cummings was still working. And Mr. Cummings had the right to work. You go into politics when you're ready, because when you go into politics, it's not for you to get rich. So Mr. Cummings had to work, finish, and retire. When he retired, then he came into politics. And he lost and whatsoever. He never went back to work because he already retired and make his money. So Liberian people, there was nothing wrong. Mr. Cummings had his own family too. When the war was on, Mr. Cummings used to send money to a poor back home. When the war was on, my auntie used to send money for me. Joey ain't send money for me. Ellie ain't send money for me. Joshua used to send money to a family people. When the war was on, Joshua, I'm telling you, if anybody can show me a picture with President, we are in any camp, any refugee camp, talking to the Liberian people, because President Weah was a celebrity. He traveled around with, in fact, there's a guy they call Chris. Chris was #1 photographer with George Weah when they came from Europe, America. The guy was doing a whole documentary on him. So everywhere where Weah went, there was journalists. The only place no journalists follow him if you're going to go there in the night. And I can tell you when President Weah went in the camp. President Weah went in the camp 2 times. One, he went to Lips. Famula were there. I think I won't play Egypt. Famula were in that camp still. He went into Lips and bought liquor. He went there one night again with to what her name said, Nayonga. So nobody saw him. Nobody. Where? If President Weah loved Liberia, why he couldn't take upon himself to go to the Accra Peace Accord? Why he go there? You say you left the comfort of Monaco to go to Liberia, Mr. President, man, that cheap thing. That cheap. Eto left the comfort zone to go home in his country to play. Mohamed Kalon left the comfort of his house to go to Sierra Leone to play. Anthony Toba, all these players left the comfort zone to go to Liberia and play. It was not the only person. Mr. President, that's a shame, Mr. President. If you argue like that, then I'm scared. And only dumb Liberians going to buy it. Only seditions. But all Salah will not buy it. The other people that are not supporting Joe will not buy it. You can't convince nobody. Sedition, you wasting your time. You will not get new voters. You will not change nobody's minds. The people who vex with you, even if you bring them back, you can't win. The people that vex, your own members, you take them back, you still can't win because you never won before. 2017, you couldn't win it. How you will win it this time? Because everybody will say, well, we finish trying you now, we know you, we can't give it to you. So if you go in the second round with anybody, they will beat you. You might not even go in the second round if you're not careful. You go in the second round with anybody, they will beat you. Anybody. Nobody going to keep you. Anybody. From the way things going, no, trust me. Anybody. If you're doing good, then we say, oh, maybe if you go in the second round, you get a shot. But Mr. President, if you enter the second round, you get no shot. You don't get nothing. You don't get no chance of winning. You don't get no chance. You can give all the money. The people will know that you just bluffing. Because when you get there, you're not going to look at them again. So sedition, the thing that Eugene Nambwe talking, that ain't right there. Or qualified man, the man, they frustrated him. At least when he got a small job. But what about you? What about you? What about you? The president gave people job and gave a wife job and left you out. The president gave all his people and gave a girlfriend big job. That big job was going to go to you. CDC got more qualified Liberians than any party in Liberia. Oh yes, more qualified out than what? But the president refused to appoint them. He refused. So we're telling you, we will not sit and allow and are calling on all the CPP members. It is time to speak out and denounce the lies that are coming out of them. You can't sit back. You can't sit back and say you will not speak out because they are lying. They prepare to lie. And if they think they can do it, we got news for them. What goes around comes around. We got news for them. Their lies will not last. Their lies will not last. So that's it right there. All right, let me go through the comments and I'm done for the day. Gotta go to bed. Okay, I can see some smart sedition. Yep. Wow, that's a whole book. The first thing I said, President Weah lied in his text. He said, we all know that President Weah have divided Liberia. We know that very well. So he only can give you the responsibility of the president to tell you he there to protect and defend the constitution of Liberia against foreign and domestic forces and whatsoever. So all that thing, President, we are talking, I just lie. All of them are criminals. You know, I love sedition. They ain't get nothing to say. They're on a defense. We keep you on the defense. You're hard to you're quick to forget. We keep you on the defense until we pass by you. Now all you say, Lindsay, you call me ungrateful big boy. My eating penna in Jowea more for like you the coward because your own you can say nothing against Jowea. You're a coward. Me, I'm not a coward. Bunch of idiots like this one here. I will put your post. Don't worry. I don't do nothing to you. How comics can be butt eater when the people say George Weah was a gay? They say George Weah sleep with most of the boys them. So Lindsay, you yourself are gay. You're, the way you're fantasize about the gay business, I hold yourself and not bought boys though. It's shameful, man. It's shameful because everybody they say George Weah are gay. They say President George Weah sleeping with a lot of sedition. I hope you're not one of them too now. I hope you're not one of them. President, we are getting letter to write again. There are sunshine, you making fun out of the man. Yeah, most of them don't matter. Only gay, no gay. But Alex come get money now. Go that's all okay you too. Now say you say he bought ball. Okay. Mongo J, it's shameful when people like you were on the phone with me the other day telling me how Mr. Cummings is one of the best guy, but you just love George. You should be ashamed of yourself, my brother. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your relationship with George Weah still will not help. For you to lie that Mr. Cummings will pay $15,000, but man, you guys ain't get shame for yourself. Seriously, you ain't got no shame for yourself. Lies will not help you. Make up story that your job. But when Mr. Cummings will whip George Weah. Anybody in this race, Mr. Cummings will beat them. Anybody. So people like you're still free to come around. Nobody going after nobody. But you will eat your words that oh. Lead them. Lead them. They ain't got nothing to offer. Nothing. He said, President Weah will not debate with someone in the someone that got 7% in the vote. Let him go to JMB. Okay, but they vote and debate with JMB. You can't stand with JMB, sir. And he ran away the first time. Okay. He ran away the first time, my brother. Okay, Mongo J said the opposition people cannot read well. Okay, let me put your post back up here. You said President Weah will not debate with someone that won 7% of the vote. Let him go to JMB. You just criticize people not reading. But look what you just wrote here. Look what you wrote. At least reading, they might not be able to pronounce the words, but look what you just put there. You said President Weah will not debate with someone there, THE, won 7% of the vote. I don't know what you're trying to say. I try to fix it for you, but you just come here and criticize one. Sedition like that. George Weah forgot what he have in the paper. He know what in the paper. He don't know what's in our letter. He just speaking. 2005 to 2015, Ellis Cummings was not in politics. And two, Ellis Cummings never ran against Ellen Johnson. Then I had business to criticize Ellen. He criticized the UP government when Joseph Boakai was in the race. He criticized the government that they are corrupt. So President Weah took over as president, that his responsibility now to audit before taking over. But because they want to steal more to put it on the past government, that's why they refuse to audit. That's all. But how you know comings, man? You're sedition. That you're sedition. You know comings. I was saying we don't know you. How you expected to know you? Next week, I gotta, in fact, I'll be on the radio soon and I gotta clear most of you people off, especially you who living in Liberia, in America, you're not going home. So I gotta clear you off my list. They lie too much. Yeah, the man lie all over on Charles Taylor, but he refused to criticize those that were killing people too. Oh man, we talk, we made president, we made CDC to write letter. We make CDC. You ain't see nothing yet. We suffer you. You're watching. Before we take over, they come in election, you will feel pain. He used 2 million of his own money where? Where? Moje, you lie too damn much, man. So that I can want block you from my page sometimes because you're not saying nothing good. I thought you should be saying something good, but you're not saying nothing. I thought your guy will object his ideas, but you are not. You are not objective at all. You are not at all. Joria will run away, man. Joria look at somebody go for debate. Joria go for no debate. He ain't know the issue. It's not. We're not talking about education, but he don't know. He don't know nothing about Liberia. He said the $1,000 school. Yes, that what made the school good. Joria never built school before. Joria get school. Joria not built any school. No. To even renovate the government school, Joria have not done it as president. All the money Joria made, what he did, nothing. He stole the people money to build all his houses. You know that? Joria is a criminal. He's the head of the criminal gang. He's the head. He's the head. Hmm. You see another one, he said, you always watching him. I watch to get the news to see some stupidity. I don't watch, I don't comment on it. I just listen to people that you know the stupidity. Now, this is the thing. You can watch when you start to comment and then you look stupid like them too. Like what you're doing right now. So I can watch and listen. He's not the only person on the planet, on the platform. He's not the only person there. If that Kev Hassan alone get a show, I will not watch it. I watch it because they got other decent people there that make sense. So, Morris Johnson, I might be this, but I'm not stupid like the one or making maybe like you. So, watching Spoon, that's a whole platform. They got other people there who make sense. But when it come to him, that's it. I don't just go on people platform like that. When I see all the stupid sedition talking, I don't really bother them because some of them are going home. Some of them they just don't, they just talk. They don't even know the issue. They don't even know nothing about the country. They don't read to research. You're listening to the other one. You're listening to the other one. He said he calling from the Arab Emirates or whatsoever university. You are one of the he said you are one. This is the man who in the university, he going to school. He in university, a university student. But he said, you are one of the lies who said that your Cummings did work in past government. Cummings was the book of director. Damn it. To BWI in Kakata. You look at Mohammed. Mohammed said he's in Emirates, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi University. This guy, he's in the university there, Abu Dhabi. But look at him writing, you are one of the lies who said that your Cummings did work in past government. Cummings was the book of directors to be the Akata. Okay, it's board of directors, BORAD, board of directors, Mr. Fool. I never told you. I told you Mr. Cummings was on the board of BWI. People who on the board to schools boards, they raise money. There is no letter to show that Mr. Cummings was actually appointed. When Ellie asked Cummings to help, Cummings said, okay, I will help BWI. He got on the board of BWI. How long he worked there for? It was a pro bono. Mr. Stupid, you in university and you making the kind of cheap mess here that you posting here. You in a university, you can take your time and you writing cheap shit like this. You know what I mean? A pro bono is free. He never got paid. And we challenge the government, show the check. Cummings never got paid. He never got it. He did it free. He gave BWI 350,000 kVA generator. Cost over $65,000. You see there? So you can't write part of shit here and you won't talk. And you in university. Damn it. Somebody answer book of directors. Say board of directors, dumb. Your school don't have board of directors. How are you, Christine? They're running a club. They're not running a government. They're running a club. They're running a club. Charles Akwe, George, where I live in refugee camp. I live in Ghana. I challenge anybody who show me one picture of President Weah in refugee camp, not to even be helping, just standing in a refugee camp. I would never get on Facebook. I would never get on Facebook because we lie too much. When George used to go to Ghana, he in the Kings Bay Hotel. Liberian go there to go big. Some people lucky to get something because all the players used to go there to play when they were playing there. When Lone Star beat Ghana, they came from Ivory Coast. They stopped in the camp on the football field. Nobody got down from the bus. You know what I'm saying? But for us to be lying for like that Joshua went in refugee camp, that's a lie. Alhaji Nkrumah went in a refugee camp in Ghana. They chased him all the way. They missed him. Ellen Johnson went there. They booed her. They ran her from there. So there is no way Joshua will go there and nobody will know. The only people who can know that the people that we don't see them. That we don't see them. Some people lucky the guy help from George Weah. That he the one can explain it. He the one can explain and get last information about people that he help. Since President Weah gave $5,000 during Dota, that is scholarship, that the one we can hear about, that the one he said Gafwan, that the money Gafwan used to go to school. Yeah. So Akwe, I challenge anybody. I challenge Karika. I challenge Monk. I challenge Rodney CA. I challenge any one of them, Yonisio. Let them show me one picture of President Weah standing in refugee camp to talk to Liberians, to say he devour money to them or carry food for them. I bet anybody I will never get on Facebook again. President Weah went in Liberian in a camp and helped Liberian people. He gave us food to eat. That's a lie. Big black lie. I challenge anybody, including President Weah. Let them just show me one picture where President Weah standing in a camp talking to a group of people. President Weah will go in that camp, people will not know. President Weah will go in Ghana on that camp. Nobody know. Nobody know. People living on the road all the way in Europe. I was living by the mansion area there. Near Arabia, two sister shop. Lies. President Weah went in the camp. Bunch of lies. The only thing President Weah that he played for Lone Star. Bocha played for Lone Star. Jonah will play for Lone Star. Salesa played for Lone Star. They all used to come down when the war was on. They all used to come down. None of them know. None of them. Nobody can tell you. Nobody. Some of us, we know when we are went in the camp. One of the time we are went in the camp was in the night. He sneaked in our camp, and I said he went there for his own little clandestine move. So nobody. But the way we lie, oh, President Weah went in a refugee camp. He did this. That's a lie, lie, lie. They went on that camp. They stopped on the football field to encourage Liberians to go cheer them. To go and cheer them. They seen your Jacob Robert. That Jacob Robert said rented that bus to go on the field. That one I was not there. I was in America already. So y'all talk to Jacob Robert. President Weah not going to camp. Y'all talk to Jacob Robert. Y'all talk to Dexter Johnson then. When President Weah went in the camp, when he fed people in the camp, there were other celebrities, other football players that went in that camp. In fact, y'all ask Eugene Fagon. Eugene Fagon, y'all ask him. Because when we were in the camp, I was the coach for Buck Challenge. And Eugene Fagon played for Buck Challenge. Although he never won Buck Challenge, but he played. Y'all ask McAlord and let them challenge. I challenge them. Let somebody show me picture. Because they got picture for Joe. We are in Kings Bay Hotel. They got pictures all over in Ghana. Show me picture in refugee camp where Joe we are standing up talking to the Liberian people in refugee camp. You lie too damn much. You see, at that time you were not born yet at all. I mean, Mohammed moved from here, man. You made us change, and you say in University of Liberia, you writing that kind of mess. Okay. You ain't got nothing to say now. You sheen. He said like you and commies, criminal. They say like you and criminal commies, all are all gay. Look at the fool. You just a dull man. You in university. Look at you, damn dull. Dull like yourself. You too damn dull. You damn dull, Mohammed. But wait now. I will stay up and invest. I talking and you watching me. Then you say this coming business, my papa will not sleep. It's 1:50 a.m. And where are you? What are you doing? You watch me with one eye? Oh Mohammed man, you shame man, you dull. University student, you too dull. You're a dull kid. Yeah, don't matter man, Akwe. Mohammed is dull. Let me put him up again. He dull. Toward University of Dubai. Look, you know our level Liberian people? They think $1 million that $10. Let me give you a history about George Weah football. Before I will ask the question, let somebody tell me how many games George Weah played for Lone Star. From Dothan to the last game. And let somebody show me the last game that say you know George Weah. The last game, you Monkoje, the last game George Weah played for Lone Star. Which game is that? Which game George Weah played the last game for Lone Star? You tell me. The last game, say you know him too much. Hmm? George Weah played 60 games for the Liberian national team. 60. From those time to now. When Doe was president, LFA was operating correctly. They used to send ticket to bring them. Everybody get a ticket. Monaco or PSG, they will talk to LFA, so Joshua will come in the same day because they wanted him to play, and they will bring him. That's their business. That right after the war, Joshua became captain for Lone Star. Joshua was never captain. He had never been captain for any team until Lone Star, when they were playing, when LFA, they corrupt guys there, start using George Weah to select the players. Yeah. But he got paid for everything that he did. Everything was not free. It was not free. So anybody tell you say Joe Weah went there free, that lie. Look, Reverend Charles, if you don't say it, you say it the right way. But that is so dumb and stupid. How President Weah, who is in charge, want for somebody to criticize him, but to criticize the other government, but not to criticize him? Eh? You are the one in charge. Why you audit Eddie? Why? He will be on the defense. Oh, he will be on the defense. The only thing I'll be honest with you, everybody was surprised. What? Joey reply? That's all. That's all. Everybody was surprised that Joshua reply. What's up, brother Fred? The man is a dull university student, Mohammed. Mohammed, you too dull. You are very, very frustrated. You dull, Mohammed. I swear to God. He said, tell the Liberian people about what your comings will do. Tell me, Mohammed, you dull. He said, tell the Liberian peoples about what your comings will do. This boy just lied to us saying in the university, hurt him and man. The guy said, tell your Liberian peoples what Mr. Cummings will do. I tired saying it, and I thought, I tired. My man, you thought. I will screenshot all your posts and tell them, I say, post say you didn't even want to say damn dog. We're not smart. I'm gonna say I'm not smart, but your own thing it just pass mark. Okay, guys, y'all have a good day. To all the rude people, I'll say God bless you. Have a good time. The time you take to be wasting your time here, you're supposed to be telling me something about Weah, but you can't tell me nothing about Weah. So have a good day, huh? Y'all take care, huh? My people. Bye. I will talk to you tomorrow. So don't forget, I got to put a post up. I will be having, you can come on Sunday. Sunday 101 with Alex Cummings. Sunday 4 o'clock, I will be having Mr. Cummings one-on-one. We'll be having a conversation. A real conversation is not just an ordinary thing, interview. No, a conversation like we're talking. And I will ask some of the questions that you guys can ask. So, but I'm not running a news network. So don't worry. We're only there to talk about national issues. Yeah, guys. So Sunday, hopefully by next month, I'll be 2 days on air in Liberia. Bye for now.